All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a Walking Dead video for today, leading up to the second episode for The Walking Dead Season 10. In this one, we're going to give our thoughts first, just to start with, on The Walking Dead Season 10 premiere, being the lowest rated episode they have done in the history of the series to date. Alright, and possible spoiler warning if you guys are not caught up for the Walking Dead television series. So that is for Lines We Cross, the Season 10 premiere for the Walking Dead television series. But, whatever. We kind of knew going in anyway that that's kind of the trend, or that's kind of what we've seen with Walking Dead the last few years. But also, not only that, they did premiere this year, and so it doesn't really matter so much anymore, I think, for how many people are actually watching it live. We don't know how many people signed up for premiere. If they got 1 million signups for premiere before it started, that would be why they renewed it for season 11. They renewed it for season 11 instantaneously straight away. So I don't want this to sound like it's some kind of doom and gloom kind of thing for The Walking Dead. The premiere episode got 4 million views, which is U.S. viewers on live airing, and I don't think that premiere is factored into that at all. I don't think that, so however many people watched it on premiere, if people watched it maybe via other means because of premiere, i.e. online or things like this, I mean, all these things have a different, have an impact. It's basically what we would have expected. It's the 10th year of the show. You don't have Rick in the Walking Dead TV series anymore. The trailers for this year looked pretty good. They looked okay with the Whisper of War kind of shaping up and Michonne this being her last season. So there is some hype, but at the same time, it's the show's been running for a full decade now. This is the this is the 10th season. We're in double digits, so I personally don't think that that it's really a bad thing. I think it's just like you can kind of expect to see that going forward. That's probably just the times and the way things are kind of shaping up and are going. When I look at what they did in season 9, I thought it was an insane season, an amazing season. I mean, right up until the last episode, there was like no filler almost all the way through the entire season. The first 5 episodes had the stuff with Rick, and then after that you had this time skip, and you go right into a completely different show pretty much. And then the second half, you have the stuff with the Whispers, you have the epic Daryl versus Beta fight, and you have the things leading up to the Pike scene with the Red Fair, and then you have kind of the first time we ever get to see Wintertime. So they're doing all kinds of amazing things, and they're really kind of, I want to say, stretching and seeing how much they can do and what they can do, and I think so far it's been paying off like crazy. And I thought the Season 10 premiere was pretty cool with the satellite thing. Somebody did say, though, that, Trev, you think it's cool they did a satellite kind of spinning out and then crashing in The Walking Dead, but if they did that in Fear, everyone would probably hate it. And I had to think about that for a bit, and I just thought, like, that's probably fair. Like, that's probably true. We love it. It's in The Walking Dead. If they put it in Fear, we'd probably all complain about it. But I did like in Fear they did the nuclear meltdown and stuff like that, too. So they're bringing in some concepts of this being an end-of-the-world scenario and not just a zombie apocalypse where it's just about the zombies, but also the fact that nobody is around to maintain any of this stuff. And as a result, you could get nuclear meltdowns, you could get all these things happening. So it's what it is, at least to start the video off with it being 4 million views. The season 9 finale got 5 million views, so it's about 1 million people less. But again, like I said, we don't know how many people bought premiere, and they seem to renew for season 11 right away, so that's probably a good sign. If anything, I think that this was a win for the premiere, and I think that the premiere for The Walking Dead Season 10 was really good, also to build up anticipation for this season. So I've been mixing up the videos a little bit. We're doing some kind of conspiracy stuff as well, too. Not that I'm going to get like 100% into that, move away from Walking Dead or anything like that. That's not the case. I'm just kind of, having some fun with you guys. We're talking about some different stuff. Not that I'm an expert on these things. There are entire channels and entire websites, for example, that could have been dedicated, people that have written books on these different topics like this. And so I don't claim to be the biggest expert on any of this stuff. I'm simply giving you guys my thoughts in an entertainment fashion to have fun with it and try not to persuade people to think a certain way, just being respectful of both opinions for some of these theories. I got one coming today for the Paul is dead, Paul McCartney conspiracy. So that's a really fun one. It's my all-time favorite conspiracy theory. If you guys don't know anything about it, if you're brand new to it, you've never heard about it before, if you never listened to the Beatles, if you don't really know anything about them, then it's something that you could at least find interesting. I find it to be, as I call it, the most interesting story never told. And it is very interesting. The video is coming today for that for you guys, so definitely check that out if you're interested and want to hear my thoughts on what I think. It's just a fun kind of story to hear about, and then you have to take it from there and do a lot of work to find out for yourself if it's something that your eyes tell you one thing, so you're like, okay, obviously yes, but then that could mean all these things, and the rationalization comes in, and then you have to think, okay, I need to go through this and go through everything so I can understand. So check out that video if you guys haven't heard of that yet. And people that are familiar with it, I hope you like it, because I find it to be like, what an amazing story. I'm sure there'll be movies made about it in about 10 or 20 years. I'm sure there will be. Probably lots of them. It'll be like a flood of them after Bill is gone, or after Paul is gone, because he's getting on in age now, right? So it's cool. But with the Flat Earth videos that we did, I thought it was the perfect time. Somebody called me on it. They said they showed outer space and walking. They had perfect time for Trev to upload a Flat Earth a video. You're absolutely right. It is the perfect time. They showed The Walking Dead showed it's a sphere. See, it's a sphere now. It was the perfect time. It's something that, in my spare time, I like to look at this stuff. So, and kind of hear both sides and just try to stay cool and try to stay impartial and not get upset one way or another, and try to see, well, which one makes more sense, and could there be something here? And if you just shut it out right away, then you don't get the opportunity to understand what people are really saying, or what could be a possibility here. So you sort of are just taking things from the mainstream approach, and you're not hearing both sides of. There's always two sides to a story, and you got to hear both if you want to try to find what sounds to be the most true, or find the truth, and whether or not there's anything substantial there. So I enjoyed doing the video with you guys. I hope you liked it. The purpose of it was not to offend anybody or upset anybody one way or another, and I found that there was a lot of people that are on one side, a lot of people are on the other side, more people on the Flat Earth side than I thought, a lot more people. And I am surprised also that it kind of seems to be a bit suppressed. And that to me is an interesting thing, because if it's just some nonsensical, crazy thing that has no basis in reality whatsoever, then why so hostile? What's the hostility? Now, people say, well, I get upset because it's ridiculous, but is it though? Because when you look at a lot of the people that were involved with our understanding of the Earth, a lot of them were Freemasons. Is it totally, completely ridiculous? Should probably look at it. Don't know what Freemasonry is. Should look at that. See, so there's some work as well too to kind of understand and see what's if there's something there. Even if you don't believe it, you think, oh no, it's total nonsense. Cool, but why the hostility? Why the vicious pushback? Just for us to talk about it, It's like, oh, you shouldn't even do. It's just it's the amount of pushback. I was surprised. I was like, this information. Ridiculing is one thing, but it almost feels like it's pushed, like it's suppressed back. So it's something that I have to look at some more, and I have to understand. If people just get angry by it because they think it's ridiculous, well, okay, fine. But, even when I look at the engine and I look at the first couple pages, I'm like, all this stuff is making fun of it. All this stuff is comedy stuff. Where's the substance to the actual theory? Who's actually talking about the theory in specifics? And why is it so suppressed to the point where even Barack Obama's making jokes about it and stuff like this? Once they start ridiculing stuff, that, for some people anyway, I'll say it this way, for some people, that's a big hint. When stuff starts getting pushed to that degree, forcefully, it's kind of like, that's maybe there's something there they don't want you to see. So that's interesting to me. So I've got to look at it some more. Again, that's a few year process, I think, if you want to kind of understand some of these things all the way through. So there's more to that, and I got to check it out. But Hip Hop Sample says, a mountain of evidence suggests Earth is not a sphere and space has been faked. It's no laughing matter. It is serious. And I have to agree with what he said in the comment, that it is something serious that people should probably look at. And I did kind of do the video in kind of a laughing way. But it is serious that it's probably something people should look at and see, because there is a lot of stuff in a lot of the NASA footage and a lot of the things that they do that makes you kind of scratch your head and say, like, something weird might be going on here. So again, part of the theory is that NASA's like a Hollywood production type of deal. So they're producing stuff that all of it's fake, right? So that's part of the theory. I'm not, again, please don't get offended. I'm not saying that that's true. I'm not saying it's false. I don't work for NASA. I don't know. I'm not, also somebody accused me of being a Freemason. I'm not a Freemason either. Relax, dudes. I'm trying to stay impartial here and understand everyone's point of view and see that, people have reason to throw it out right away and think it's ridiculous. And that's kind of the way I thought of at the beginning first too. But then on the other side as well too, a lot of the stuff that's out there does look fake, and why is that? Why does it look fake? Interesting stuff. So something to look into. Of course, this is a Walking Dead topic video, so we'll get back on track here, but it's sort of tied in because of the way the season 10 premiere started off, so I thought we would go through it. So again, not to offend anybody, and he's right. It isn't a laughing matter, though. It's something that you probably actually should look at and say, like, hey, that's kind of interesting. They all happen to be Freemasons. This is that just a coincidence? There's nothing wrong with being part of some secret society or some kind of, society, but, interesting. Anyway, moving on back to Walking Dead stuff. Naeray says, Trev, could you do a top The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead season rating with all seasons for both shows? I would love to see if there are some Fear seasons that you like more than Walking Dead seasons. Well, I did sort of make a list, which I'll just go through briefly. Maybe we could do a whole video on it and kind of go through that in more detail. But I would say that if you want me to rank every season of Walking Dead versus that, based on fan opinions, so this is not my opinion, this would be based on what I've seen response from you guys, from fans, this is the way it would go. 15 seasons, if we're not counting season 10 of The Walking Dead, 9 of the original series, and 5 of Fear, 14 seasons, right, because season... 9 and 5. Is that too much flat earth thoughts here? Okay, so so we've got 14 seasons of 9 of The Walking Dead, and then 5 of Fear, 1 through 5. Okay, so I'd probably put Fear the Walking Dead season 5 as the worst of them all. Then I would go Fear the Walking Dead season 4 as probably the second worst out of them all. Then I'd go Walking Dead season 7. Then I would go season 8, again based on fan responses, not on my own. Then I would put Fear the Walking Dead season 2 ahead of all the rest of those. I put it ahead of season 8 and season 7. Season 1 of Fear above that, and then I'd go Walking Dead season 4, and then the highest rated for Fear season I'd put at, season 3 of Fear. So Fear the Walking Dead season 3 I would say is better than several seasons of The Walking Dead. Then after that, it's all the rest of The Walking Dead seasons, like season 3, season 2, season 1, season 6, season 9, season 5. With season 5 and season 9 being the absolute best seasons. And I just put season 5 as the absolute best because I feel like that was at the time when Walking Dead was absolutely at its hottest. But yeah, I do think season 3 of Fear the Walking Dead is superior to, a good number of seasons, all of the other seasons of Fear, but also superior to some of the seasons of the original Walking Dead. And again, not to offend anybody, I hope I don't get any heat there, but Fear the Walking Dead season 3, if you've never seen it, I suggest watch it. It's incredible. It's really, really good. Toxik Blackrain said, no musical shit unless it's the Whisperers singing Slayer's Dead Skin Mask. So, yeah, they're going to be doing the musical episode. It sounds like it'll probably be in the original Walking Dead series. Maybe it could be in Fear as well, too. Maybe they'll do one for each. I don't know. They seem to be hard set on doing a musical episode. I don't know if this is something now that they're at 10 seasons, they're supposed to do some kind of industry thing that you're supposed to do after a while, or they just think it's fun to do it, whatever the case may be. They seem hard set on doing a musical episode, whether it be in the original Walking Dead or Fear, or maybe both. So, I don't know, okay, all right, whatever. It sounds like this is not going away, so eventually we're going to see eventually, if the series lasts long enough, we're probably going to see a musical in both. I don't even know how you work that in. It made sense for Buffy, but that's because these different demons and stuff, it made sense. There was a silence episode and there's a singing episode. Like it makes it. The silence episode, by the way, was an amazing episode. If you guys never seen the silent episode of Buffy, that That one is incredible. What a good episode. I used to love Buffy, man. It was cool. Jay Morris, the review guy, says, Trev, loving all the content recently. Thanks for always being positive and fun to watch. I was wondering, is it just me, or do the Whispers not feel super threatening yet? Maybe that'll change, but Alpha doesn't seem super intimidating to me, and neither do most of the Whisperers. They seem like a very ho-hum group. I think the Whispers are pretty intimidating. We'll get to see their backstory here. I mean, Beta is super intimidating. He's about as intimidating as you could possibly get. But they are switching away from the guns, so no more gunfighting, really. It's hand-to-hand. But if you look at the PTSD scene with Siddiq when he's thinking back to Alpha looking at her sword, whatever that was, machete or whatever kind of sword that was she had, and she's lopping people's heads off. I mean, that's about as intimidating as you could ever get. I don't know how you could be any more intimidating than that. Travis Bell says, Trev, with these ads you get, I hope you get free shit from AMC. Or these ads you do. For Travis, dude, I don't work for AMC. I do my opinions and stuff based on honesty, based on what I think. And also try not to upset people too, because I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings or upset anybody, right? That's not the purpose of the channel. That's not the idea. The idea is to have fun and to enjoy everything we do. But for AMC, I'm not always pro on everything Walking Dead. If you watch my reviews for Fear the Walking Dead Season 5 second half, then you'll know that, it wasn't a good half. It was really the weakest half of any Walking Dead we've ever seen based on the list I just read to you guys. It's what it is, but I don't. I'll tell you the truth, man. I'm not lying to you if I tell you I like something, and some people didn't really like the premiere for The Walking Dead season 10. So I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was good, and visually, I thought it was just not what I'm used to for Walking Dead. It looked better than any Walking Dead I can ever remember visually. It just looked incredible. Absolutely. Kuwil said, while Morgan's at it, can he please clear the Fear the Walking Dead writers' rooms? That's one for Fear the Walking Dead. We did a video on that one yesterday, which was fun. And then the last one will be from Alicia the Dead, who says, if it wasn't for Angela Kang taking over, I think the season would have been the last. She has blown life into The Walking Dead. Absolutely agreed, 100%. She does an amazing job, and so I'm really happy that she's there. You do need good people as well, too, and she is a fantastic showrunner. I hope we see, speaking of Alicia, I hope next season for Fear, we see something better for her to do, for example, for Alicia to do, rather than painting a bunch of trees and shit. I don't know. We'll see what they decide to do with Fear. We'll see what happens with Fear. Anyway, there's a Fear video on the channel from yesterday. If you guys haven't seen it, you can check it out, and check out some of the other videos I've been doing if you're interested. But the only thing I have to say is try to be cool. You know what I mean? Try to be cool about it. Whether you agree, whether you disagree, whichever side you're on, I'm trying to stay impartial and in the middle with the videos I do, regardless of my own viewpoints, so as not to try to offend anyone, because that's not productive. It's not useful. It's not useful. It's not productive, and it's not good to just shut people out and just say, like, boom. And sometimes we're all guilty. We're like, this is stupid, boom. But sometimes you have to look at it a little bit more and say, I want to take a look at this. I want to think about this. And if you don't do that, then if let's say authority or the powers that be are lying to you about something, you'll never be able to figure it out if you don't even look at it. If you just accept what they say to you at face value every time, and you don't think, could they be lying about this or could they be lying about that? If you never even consider that to be a possibility, then you will never have the option of becoming enlightened and getting that information and figuring something out for yourself that maybe you take a position on, right? You take a position on this, take a position on that. And it's not to say you have to agree with every single conspiracy theory there is. One of the ones, for example, UFOs used to be pretty suppressed and ridiculed like crazy. And now is kind of accepted as like, there probably is declassified government documentation, things like this, to where most people are like, I do believe in UFOs. I do think that there are probably aliens that have visited the planet at some point. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys. If you liked it, please thumb it up below. You can share, you can favorite, and subscribe to the bottom left if you're new. That's it for this one. I'll see you guys again soon for another. It's Trev. Say peace. Later, guys. See you soon.